We got two NBA Cup quarterfinal games. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more NBA. We got two NBA Cup games, and that means we've doubled the slate from yesterday. It is a very, very strange week of scheduling for NBA, but let's hopefully find some winners. One game today I think could be really good. The other one, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll break down each one, but before we do, as you guys know, we are partnered with OUTLIER, the best player prop research tool on the market today. If you want to try it out yourself, click the link below for a 7-day free trial. Any graphics you see in this video or future videos are from OUTLIER. But let's get right into it. We got a lot to get into, and that means we got a dad joke. So, I meant to ask you, have you guys ever heard about that roof joke? You know what? Never mind. It's over your head. I know, cheesy. In this video, we have nothing to recap because we did not have a best bet. Hopefully, you guys still crushed the Raptors-Knicks games. I know we hit one. I don't know if we had one or two leans, but Scotty Barnes left the game hurt, so we definitely didn't hit that one. But we're going to talk defenses versus shooting guard positions still because we're going to keep giving you that research help to help you throughout this week and in the future. And then we're going to talk Magic Bucks. I have one best bet. We'll talk the Mavericks and Thunder. I have my bet of the day that I love in that game. And then right after that, we'll give you two more leans also that I may make tomorrow morning. Not sure yet. And we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to continue to help this channel to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're almost to 34,000 subscribers. Really appreciate the support day in and day out and all those comments and likes. But let's get into it. And that means it's time for the shooting guard position. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the shooting guard position this season. Knicks right up there, 26.4. Bulls, Kings, Blazers, Wizards. The only team playing that's in the top 10 or bottom 10, however you look at it, is the Milwaukee Bucks, giving up 25 points to the shooting guard position. They struggle versus guards. And then shooting guards, most points per game. The only one playing today, because it's highlighted in green, is Kyrie Irving of the Mavericks, 24.3 points per game. Obviously, he's kind of a point guard, but he plays shooting guard next to Luka. We have no arrows, so you see there's no matchups. Obviously, with only two games, you're going to have a hard time finding it. But that's the points. Now let's check out the rebounds. We got one matchup here. The OKC Thunder giving up the most rebounds to the shooting guard position. They give up a ton of rebounds to guards, and they are facing Kyrie Irving, who is averaging 4.9 rebounds per game. Again, this is just shooting guards. Obviously, Luka can get up there as well. But then we got the Magic and Bucks over there, two other teams. So we got three teams playing today. They're in the top 5 of giving up the most rebounds to the shooting guard position. So there's all the rest of the shooting guards on the right. Take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners throughout the week. And now let's check out the assists. Only one team is playing in the top 10 right now, the Mavericks. And then speaking of Mavericks, Kyrie Irving up there again, 5.2 assists per game. Obviously, some of those came without Luka, and he had some more potential assists and things like that. But anyways, that's what we got. If you're looking for overs on shooting guards, now let's look at the toughest shooting guard matchups in the league. Thunder right up there, number 2, fewest points per game to the shooting guard position at only 21 points per game. Mavericks down there at only 22 points per game given up to the shooting guard position. Then Rockets are number 1. And then if you go over the rebounds, Nets, Pacers, Knicks, Kings, Pistons are the top 5. And then you got the Mavericks down there allowing only 6.1 rebounds per game to the shooting guard position. And then fewest assists, 2 of the teams are playing in the top 4. Thunder and Magic both giving up 4.4 assists to the shooting guard position. It's not easy to get assists, obviously, against good defenses, but surprisingly, the Hornets are up there. But again, this is a shooting guard position, not exactly a position that just racks up a ton of assists or anything. So that's what we got for all the matchups and the shooting guard numbers. And now let's talk the Magic and Bucks. All right, this first game takes us out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Bucks host the Orlando Magic. Bucks -7. Total in this game is 213.5. Let's preview this game real quick before we get into my best bet. Injuries, Bucks are healthy now. Even Chris Middleton is back. Magic are down, obviously. We all know it. They're two best players. Paolo Banchero, who's been out for a while, and Franz Wagner. They both have torn obliques. Just some oblique issues going on down there in Orlando, Florida. But they got a win last game without both of them. I had their team total under, and somehow the Phoenix Suns suck. That's just what happened. But either way, let's go over some numbers. Magic 31-23-1 against the spread as a road underdog of 6.5 to 12 points under their head coach. How about that stat? Does that help? Probably not at all. Because they're down their two best players. Magic 6-10 ATS on the road this season. We all know They are a team that has struggled on the road, but they are the #1 home ATS team in the entire NBA. Does that help tonight? No, because they are not at home. But the Magic have only lost by 8 or more points in 7 games this year. But again, they are out both Boncaro and Franz Wagner. Bucks 4-7-1 ATS at home. If you're looking for totals and things like that, pace of play, Bucks are 16th in pace, and Magic are already slow 27th in the NBA. Just some matchups to look at. Bucks have the third highest three-point percentage in the NBA. Magic are 19th defending the three ball, 36.5% given up to their opponents. Magic do not allow second chance points at all. They're #1, only allowing 10.5 second chance points per game. And the Bucks don't really do that anyways. They're 29th in second chance points. And then the Magic's sixth best fast break defense. But again, it's something else that the Bucks just don't really rely on. They are 27th in fast break points as well. But if I had to lean on a cider total, because I don't have a best bet on the cider total, I'd probably lean under 214.5. I think we get a slow defensive game here. And the Magic, without their two best players, I know I've said it before, but they always have the potential to throw up a clunker of like 85 points because, again, they just don't have a lot of offensive playmakers. And if they want to have any chance here, they're going to need to muddy this game up a little bit and play some half-court basketball. So I lean under, but again, not a best bet. My best bet in this game, it's going to be a half-unit play. It is going to be Chris Middleton over 3.5 assists at -120 on Bet365. This is Middleton's only third game back. So he picked right back up where he left off last year with assists. But first, let's talk about the minutes. In those two games, he played 23 and 20 minutes. I'm expecting 25 plus minutes probably in this one, 25 to 28 maybe. He just had a nice long rest. And, it's obviously a bigger game. Maybe this is the first game he starts. Again, speculative because I don't know. I'm not in the meetings with Doc Rivers. Which, by the way, I don't know why I'm not. Even with limited minutes, he had 5 and 6 assists in those two games on 7 and 6 potential assists. You obviously like to see a little bit more potential assists. But again, we have a low line of 3.5. More minutes obviously could mean more chances. And last season, when he played 20 to 28 minutes in that range, he was over this 3.5 assist line in 9 of 13 games, averaging 5 assists per game. I mean, he is a willing passer. He's a guy, when you watch him, he's willing to make the right basketball play for his team. He's not just some guy only looking to score or anything. So I think this line is just too low. Again, he's averaged 5+ dimes in 5 straight seasons in his career. I mean, we're obviously only getting this line because he has a little limited minutes right now. But if those minutes continue to rise, this line needs to go up. 3.5 is just too low. I know Orlando is a good defense, but he faced them 3 times last season when they were a good defense. He had 7, 3, and 5 assists. So, and they're actually average when it comes to assists, 2 forwards in general. I know they're a little better towards guards, but obviously he is not a guard. So this is more of a play on the number and just kind of the willing passer that Chris Middleton is. He's already proven it in the first 2 games this season and throughout his career. He should be able to get 4+ assists. So give me Middleton over 3.5 dimes as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Oklahoma City, where the Sonics host the Dallas Mavericks. Sonics -4.5. Total is 231.5. I'm just joking. I'm bitter. I'm a bitter Sonics fan. But the Thunder obviously hosting this one. This is going to be my favorite play of the day. But before we get into it, let's preview the game real quick. This is a rematch of last year's Western Conference semifinals where the Mavs beat them in 6 games. Mavs also beat the Oklahoma City Thunder earlier this year as a 7.5-point underdog. It is a tough matchup for the Thunder. But I will say also, when they beat OKC this year, Luka was out that game. But Hartenstein was also out for the Thunder. So recent form, Mavs just quietly just crushing it. Won 11 in the last 12 games. The Thunder have won 7 in the last 10. 7-1 now with Hartenstein in the lineup. ATS numbers, OKC 6-5 ATS at home. They've been the favorite in every home game. Dallas is 7-5-1 ATS on the road. Mavs are 4-2 against the spread as a road underdog. Now, some matchup numbers here. Mavs have the 10th highest 3-point percentage. Thunder are the second best defense, allowing only 33.3% to opponents from downtown. And then we get a strength-on-strength matchup. Mavs 5th offensively for points in the paint. Thunder have allowed the fewest points in the paint in the NBA. So if I had to lean on a cider total, I mean, considering the Mavs have won, 6 of the last 7 or something like that against the Thunder, I got to lean Mavs plus 4.5 here. Luka and Kyrie are playing so well. And I think we get a close game down to the wire. The Mavs have a chance to win. So I lean the Mavs side on this one. But my best bet and my favorite play of the day is SGA over 5.5 assists at -115 on Bet365 for 1 unit. I wasn't planning on doing only assist props, but we'll talk about this one. And then after this, I'll give you 2 more leans just overall for the day as well. But I remember this matchup in the playoffs last year. It's a 6-game series. and SGA had a ton of assists. So if you guys don't remember, Mavericks threw a ton of players at him. Sometimes he caught the ball on the wing, they'd throw a second guy on him. And then mostly whenever he attacked the rim, they threw a guy at him and double teamed him. They made other people beat them without Chet Holmgren on the court. They're going to do the same thing. I can't imagine it being any different, but they left a lot of wide open guys. I mean, there's guys everywhere. We just have to count on them to knock down their shots. But even in the numbers, as you can see, by this outlier screenshot. He went over this in 5 of the 6 games in the playoffs last season and the game earlier this season as well. In fact, in the 6-game series, he had 9, 7, 6, 5, 8, and 8 assists. His only miss was right at 5 assists. The part I loved was that it backed up the eye test because he averaged 15 potential assists per game in that playoff series. Just an insane amount. If I get 15 potential assists, I'm guaranteed that. I would bet multiple units on this for him to turn that into 6. He also played the Mavs earlier this year. He had 8 dimes for 20 potential assists. That is absolutely insane. This is a big play on the matchup here and how the Mavericks play him. I just don't see them changing anything that they've done because they beat them in 5 or 6 of the last 7 games now. I just don't see them changing. And we saw it all series long. SGA had to get rid of the ball, and there was open shooters everywhere because they wanted to force the role players to beat them. So on the season, SGA is over in just 12 of 23 games, but he's averaging 6.35 assists on 12.7 potential assists. Even with 13 potential assists, he should hit 6 pretty easily, and I think he's going to get even more because also with Chet Holmgren off the court, he's averaging 14.2 with potential assists per game. When Chet was on the court, 10.8. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. That's about a 3.5 potential assists more per game. I absolutely love this bet. Dallas will make him get rid of the ball. And you know what? I don't even think his teammates need to knock down a ton of shots or anything for him to get there. He could get 13, 14, 15 or more potential assists. Just needs 6 of them for a guy that gets over 50% usually. So I love the chances here. I love the matchup. Give me SGA over 5.5 assists as my second best bet and my favorite bet of the day. And now, before we finish it up, let's talk some leans. All right, let's talk a couple leans. One or both may make my card still, but just kind of want to talk through it with you. Haven't added it yet. This first one was close. Jalen Suggs over 19.5 points. He took 18 shots last game without Franz Wagner and Boncaro still. And he had 26 points on a game where he shot 8 of 18. Didn't even shoot that well. Now he plays a Bucks team that we know struggles versus point guards. They've given up the 4th most 3-pointers to point guards. We know Suggs can knock it down. They pack the paint. They just give up a lot of points in general. How about the 3rd most points to the point guard position as well? I also like Jalen Suggs over 2.5 threes. I think I saw it juice now at minus 140 though. With his volume alone, I think he could get to 20 plus points here. So I like Suggs. Blowout is a worry here. Again, if the Magic just kind of go cold a little bit without many offensive studs on their team, they could get blown out. But other than that, I like Suggs to get 20 plus. Second one, Luka the man, over 16.5 rebounds plus assists. He's over this in only 8 of 18 games, but over this in 3 of the last 4 since his return from injury with 20, 16, 20, and 24 RAs in those last 4. He went over this in 5 of the 6 games against OKC last season in that playoff series. OKC, as we talked about a little earlier, they allow a ton of rebounds to guards, especially point guards and shooting guards. Well, that would be all the guards. That doesn't make sense. But he averaged 19.1 RAs per game in that playoff series. That is quite a bit. With possible big minutes here, maybe close to a playoff minutes type of thing because it's a big NBA Cup game. I love his chances to have another big one and go over the 16.5 rebounds plus assists. Always capable of getting a triple-double, as you guys all know. So those are my 2 leans for the day. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord, along with those 2 best bets that I have and some research help. So let's get some winners. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. We got 2 assist props. We start with Chris Middleton over 3.5 assists, minus 120 for a half unit, and then SGA over 5.5 dimes, minus 115 for a full unit. My favorite play of the day. And then I may add one more play in the morning if I do, again, in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Discord is completely free. Click that link below in the description and come join us as we talk sports all day, every day. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.